Hey YouTube family, welcome back to Wisco Rural Living. Do a little video about the sweet potatoes we've recently planted. Haven't done these for a few years, but we did them years ago before the daughters were into sports and we had time to do them. We started these. Sweet potatoes are actually easy to start. They call them slips. They're not like a regular potato where you just get seed potatoes and you plant them in the ground. These were organic sweet potatoes. I can't remember the variety. But I started these the end of March, first part of April. These are just Sterilite containers from Walmart. Get some sweet potatoes. You bury them in potting soil. Keep them wet. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. I don't know when to shut these things off. They just keep growing slips. And I learned how to do this on, guess what, YouTube. And everybody says you got to pull the slips off. You put them in a glass jar, mason jar. I mean, can you see these? They'll grow roots like any other flower. Tomatoes will actually do that too. But this year I didn't even go through that process. I did a little bit. I did a couple of them in the jars with the water. But for the most part, once they went from that, I just put them into 6-inch pots. It just takes a lot of moisture. They'll grow roots. And we always grow them in these tubs. These are just 55-gallon drums cut in half. And in 4 months, we're going to have a lot of sweet potatoes. One thing that sweet potatoes need a lot of is moisture. Moisture and heat. And light, obviously. We do have a greenhouse, so that does make a difference. That's one thing I'm trying to figure out what to do. You know, we're the end of May right now. What do I do with these ones that keep producing? We're getting to the end of the growing season. It's going to be cold in September. But the most important thing to do with any gardening, you know, these are black tubs. So when the sun hits the side of it, what's it going to do? It's going to dehydrate the soil. The moisture is going to come out of the soil, go back into the air. Mulching is the most important part. And I did a little experiment on this in the last week. Once you get these things in tubs, put a little 555 fertilizer on them, they're just going to take off. They will. It's just, they're not actually a potato. They're a relative of a morning glory vine. They're a vine that actually produces a fruit. But like I said, the soaking them in the water to get the roots going, some of these I just put, I pulled them right off the sweet potato and shoved them in here and kept them wet. But the most important thing is to keep them mulched. Now, what we do for mulch, we have a very large yard. We have a lawn care business too. But we bag, in the fall and the spring, we bag all the leaves off our trees. We don't spray our yard. That's very important. Do not, if you're going to do this, don't have True Green or some of them people come and spray your yard because you're going to have problems. But this is from last fall. We pile it up and it turns into compost, but this is just leaves. This will hold the moisture in the soil big time. And I know some people say, well, you can only put 2 in a 25-gallon tub. I do 3 or 4. I don't want huge sweet potatoes. The smaller ones taste better. They're easier to cook. Yeah, that's the mulching. The mulching is the key to keeping sweet potatoes in tubs. I guess hydrated is the word I'm looking for. But in a couple weeks, these things will be growing all over the place. It'll be a mess. And I do them on pallets. I do them on pallets so I can move them around. That's our garden right there I'm still working on. We're mulching tomato plants. But I'm going to put these around the outside of the garden. And if they're not quite ready when the time comes, I'll put them in the greenhouse. Come fall, and it'll be plenty warm in there. Hey, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.